We now welcome in NFL on CBS analyst Charles Davis. Charles, as we just saw in that video, the AFC East is pretty wide open. The Bills are tied with Miami for the best overall record. However, they're sitting in second place after dropping games to both the Finns and the Jets. Despite that, Vegas still has the Bills as the favorite to win the AFC East. That's at minus 230. Now, I know you're not a gambling man, but how do you see this division? Who's going to take it?
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, Katie. I don't mess with Vegas other than to go there and call a Raiders game, right? Other than that, Vegas is on its own. But you pointed out where the Bills are down and why they're behind the Dolphins in the division despite having the same record. They lost in a tropical game, to put it mildly, early in the season. Late, had a chance, didn't get there. Miami wins the game. They go to the Jets and drop that one despite getting out to a fast start and looking like they're in control. But here's the kicker, Katie. Both of those teams have to come to Buffalo. And it is December and January. So I like where Buffalo's going. I would like them more if two things had occurred, Katie. One, they play Sunday, had to go to Detroit because of the snow, come back Thursday. They knew that was going to happen. They also knew they had to come back this Thursday and play New England. I would like them more if they had not had to play this Thursday and had gotten some rest. They look like a little bit of a tired team to me on Thanksgiving Day, outlasting Detroit. But I still think they'll get it done. If Josh Allen's arm is okay down the stretch, I still believe in that Buffalo defense.
I agree with you on that one, especially in why you would like them a little bit more. I guess the only good thing is it was Thursday to Thursday, so it's a little bit less of a short week here. But let's talk about the Patriots now. With the loss against the Vikings, the Patriots, they're now knocked out of playoff contention. However, they're still on the hunt for a wild card spot. Looking at their schedule, Charles, it's going to be an uphill battle. New England will face the Bengals, the Dolphins, and the Bills again to close out the season. Do you see them making the playoffs?
Katie, every fiber of me says no. I mean, everything you're pointing out says no. I don't think they have the firepower on offense to keep up if it's a track meet game, right? Their defense plays awfully well week in and week out, but sometimes it's difficult. Like we saw it on Thursday night, on Thanksgiving night in Minnesota, trying to keep up with the Vikings on offense, and the Vikings defense is not the greatest we've ever seen. So that's where you start to say to yourself, how do they get this done? And then I remember watching this team beat the Jets twice when the Jets had everything going for them both times. I realized Zach Wilson played, but he was supposed to play. Katie's the number 2 overall pick. He was supposed to be the quarterback. Yes, they've made the change now, but everyone talks like, well, I can't believe they played Zach Wilson. Of course they played Zach Wilson. You don't draft the number 2 overall and sit him until you had to sit him. But they missed 2 opportunities there. That's going to hurt them in tiebreakers as we go down the stretch. And how many times have we seen these New England Patriots surprise us and Cobra clutch someone when they least expected it and steal a game or two and find themselves fighting for the playoffs? Offense wins in the NFL right now, Katie. I'm going against the mantra and saying New England, their defense finds a way to sneak in.
It's always hard to get to bet against Bill Belichick in these spots. But I appreciate all of the optimism from you, Charles. You got the Bills winning the division and the Patriots still making the playoffs. But who wins the battle on Thursday night?
Oh, boy, listen, I think the Bills still find a way to win it, okay? And this ball club, again, my biggest concern is I thought they needed more time. Yes, you're exactly right. At least they got a week after Thanksgiving. But to me, with the extra travel, the extra Detroit game after the snow, all those things, plus Josh Allen's arm, they just looked tired. It looked like they were running out of gas and found a way to win the game against Detroit. So it tells you about their heart and their toughness. I think they find a way to win this game just because of the sheer explosiveness of that offense. Now, the biggest question everyone's asking is, will New England finally make them punt? Because we know that the Bills have the least amount of punts in the league, and we had the playoff game last year, and they didn't, they never punted on that one. They didn't punt in the game before that. They're going to make them punt tonight, Katie, at least twice. It's going to happen. The defense will rise up, but I do think Josh Allen and that offense finds a way late in the ball game to get it done.
I agree with you. I'm a betting woman, so I have money on this game, and I also took the Bills. Charles, where can we find you this weekend?
We are going to Minnesota, and just yesterday I was in New York City trying to get home from an event and supposed to leave at 6 o'clock from LaGuardia. and my plane was coming from Minneapolis, and it was 4 hours late because they got 8 inches of snow there.
Ooh.
Can we get it done before I fly in tomorrow, please, Minneapolis, St. Paul? I know you're equipped for it, but I live in Florida now. The blood is thin, zero toughness.
All right,
Let's get rid of
Minneapolis.
that.
Yeah, do what you can, Minneapolis, for our guy, Charles Davis.
Jets and Vikings. We'll be there, Katie.
Oh, perfect. We'll be tuning in to the Vikings game. Charles, thanks so much.
Take care.
All right, where is the action on this game? Well, it's with the Bills. 74% of tickets on the spread are with Buffalo. And me, and Charles. Now for the betting perspective, we welcome in our Sportsline analyst, the czar of the playbook, Emory Hunt, and a guy I like to call Big Money Mike after cashing $30,000 on his bet on Team USA, Mike McClure. Fellas, let's get right into it. The look-ahead line for this game, well, it was 5.5, and now that has already been bet down to 3.5, favoring Buffalo. As a Bills backer myself, I absolutely love this line. Emory, how do you see it?
First of all, drinks on Mike. Wherever we meet up, drinks on Mike. But I'm laying these points with Buffalo. I think you're right, Katie. I love this line. 5 is always tough. I would think this game, because this is a conference game or division game, and because these two teams know each other well, it's more along the lines of a 24-21, 24-20 type game, let alone a game that people thought the Bills would win by a touchdown. But this number, I love it. It's perfect. I think this is where the Bills, based on what we've seen from them the last couple of weeks, and Charles Davis touched on it, how tired they look, I think this will be more about the defensive side of football for Buffalo than their offense. I look for their offense to get a break, so to speak, this weekend. Their defense will have to win this one tomorrow for them. I like them a -3.5.
I like that lean there with you, Emory. I made the game 5, so I think this is a bit of an overreaction with all the strong market movement there. That leads me to my play, which is going to be the over 43.5. I think this number is a touch too low here. I make it 46.5 in the simulations. You look at this spot here, the Bills, they still have an elite offense. Yes, Josh Allen has turned the football over, but that's just led to higher scoring games that are tight down the stretch. That's what we want here. The market seems to think that that's what we're in for based off the movement that we've seen towards the Patriots side here. I love this spot overall. When you look at the Patriots defense and what they've done against quarterbacks with any amount of mobility, they got torched by Justin Fields. They've struggled with Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen isn't quite the same thing in terms of a running threat, but he is mobile enough to cause some real problems here. Let's go over 43.5 on this total.
I love that over as well, Mike. Even with Josh Allen's struggles, the Bills have been able to put up nearly 30 points per game in their last 3 games. Moving on to the prop market, Emory, what is a player that you are targeting for the Bills?
Listen, I love doing these props because it's easy money. It's always plus money, and it's great value. You go to the defensive side of football. Matt Milano is someone that finds himself around the football making tackles. So him going over 6.5 tackles, I think, is an easy bet to make. When you tie it with the fact that the Patriots want to run the football, they will run the football. Hey, guess what happens when you run the ball? Linebackers usually make tackles, and I think he's going to be around the football a lot. I expect double digits, so grabbing it at 6.5 is great value. I like him going over that number.
I'm going Josh Allen rushing yards here. We're going over 41.5. I love this spot for him. I think he's healthy enough again. The Patriots have really struggled against the run so far this season. Allen went for 78 yards last week. He's hit this number 8 times already this season. And then when you look back at last year in the 2 matchups with the Patriots, rushed for 64 and 66 yards. I like that he's had a few turnovers. I like that he's going to have to continue to push. I like that the market is moving towards the Patriots, indicating an incredibly competitive game. That's where Josh Allen looks to run the most. I think he tops 50 rushing yards in this one pretty easily.
Absolutely. Allen has also rushed 8+ times in every game on the road this season and has gone over this number in 2 straight games versus the Patriots. Moving on to player props for New England. Mike, who are we firing on?
We're going Ramondre Stevenson once again. The number continues to move. It's about 10 yards higher than I've been playing it the last few weeks. It's over 35.5 receiving yards. The backfield is his. I love the usage in the passing game. 76 last week, 56 the week before. Also has games of 72 and 59 in this little stretch here. 5+ targets in each of the last 5 games in the passing game. I think they're in for a dogfight here with Buffalo. It's going to be a lot of Ramondre Stevenson.
Listen, I'm right there with you, Mike. Ramondre Stevenson and his total yards, over 102.5 total yards. I love the fact that he's someone that they trust on both ends of offense. He has feet like Ampley, quickness like Gregory Hines, and he's able to make guys miss and move his footwork like Tom Hanks and Big and FEO Schwartz. So when you combine all of that with the fact that they're going to need to utilize him a lot in this ball game, I just think that him going over this total gives me a better bet, better odds than trusting just a sheer rushing number or receiving number. So combine the two, and I think he goes over easily.
All right, that is Emory Hunt and Mike McClure. Thank you, gentlemen. Let's go ahead and recap those picks. Well, Emory and I are on the Bills to cover. Mike likes the over in that game. I lean that as well. For the Bills, Emory is going defense with his prop, Matt Milano, over 6.5 tackles, while Mike is locked in on Stevenson over his receptions for the Patriots.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.